Here we go. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing today on this fine, lovely Saturday evening? Yeah, we are.
Morning for us.
Yeah, I know. We are simultaneously both early and late, and you guys will never understand why until later.
Yes,
But
it's a
yeah,
surprise.
we're all here. I'm Meteor Falcon. I got Mommy Crow and Skyrus, aka Viper Crow, with me. Say hello, guys.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
I am here
Oh.
today.
Yeah, we missed
Oh.
Crow. Everybody missed Crow last time. Everybody was talking about how we missed Crow last time.
Actually.
Yeah, it was very
Yes.
sad.
Oh, wait,
The chat
actually?
message.
Well, like not like the podcast was sad, but we just missed you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was very lazy last week. I woke up and I'm like, I'm tired. I'm going back to sleep.
It's okay.
I just like,
Me and Sky stumbled around and figured something out.
what did you guys do last week in the end?
We mostly talked about the KR balance patch and then the Genshin leaks, and then I had an extra question or two in there. Yeah.
Okay. What did you guys say about the Genshin?
Wait, it's already time to sub again? Oh, thank you for the sub. I swear you subbed like 2 weeks ago. What the heck?
I don't know, because I subbed that time with a coin, right? And then I guess I hit the 12-month streak. Oh wait, it's 12 months?
Yeah, it's been a
shit,
year.
It's been a year since we've
Congratulations.
known each other, Meteor. Oh shit.
Wowee,
hello.
sensei.
Yeah, last time was because I bought a couple of tokens. So I was subbing with tokens for a bit. So I was like, I didn't know when my streak expired, so I just subbed with my token early, just in
Okay.
case I lose my streak. So then now the actual streak, so it's telling me to subscribe. So yeah.
Wowee.
Wow, 12 years. That's longer. That's a longer time than my own subscription on my own channel.
Well, I guess yeah. That's you streamed after I started. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You
after
subbed
I
to me
met
before you
you.
started streaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you.
Wait.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm actually curious. What did you guys talk like in regards to the Genshin leaks? What did you guys say about it last week?
Oh man. I mean,
That was a lot.
yeah, there was a lot. I think like one of the main sticking points for me is that just based on how the situation was explained to me by Sky, is that it seemed to be like actually a good relationship between Genshin and the leakers, because people were getting hyped and the leakers didn't leak that much and they leaked it very slow. But it seems like one guy stepped out of line and then just put everything out there, so Genshin had to react in a fashion they thought was appropriate, which I think made sense by just shutting down the whole project. So yeah.
They still have beta test servers in the future?
I'm not
I
sure
think
at the
they-
moment.
I think they would, but
Yeah.
it would be very how do I say it?
Regulated.
It would be much more private.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like my theory was that they're gonna do beta because they have to do beta tests, or else there'd be way too many bugs and issues. So I was thinking that like either they would like do it like super private, like people they know they can trust for sure, or like make it so like it's their employers who do the beta testing, like people they actually pay. Which would be which sucks in a different way because you don't get as many people. So if they do that, I think like from that we might see more bugs and stuff.
Yeah. I feel like definitely wouldn't be the right choice to just never do beta servers again, because it's like
they just
so
cannot risk
hard.
that.
Yeah. Okay, it makes sense. Yeah, I think it's just a bit of a controversial talk, like especially in the Facebook group I was in.
Mhm.
Everyone kept talking about it, and then they were just like discussing whether it's a good thing to have leaks or not. A lot of people were saying, "Oh yeah, it's a good thing. Then free-to-play players can prepare for it." But then other people like, "No, it kills
talked about that too.
kills the hype." Yeah, kills the hype, and then they were like really annoyed about it. But yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
It'll be like that. Oh, okay. That's. I was just curious to hear what you guys thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have a like specific topic for this episode. So if y'all have something that you've been, in your hearts that you want to talk about.
Well,
Feel free.
there are like a bunch of. Wait, did you guys? So you guys, I saw that you guys answered some questions. Oh well.
We did,
Genshin
yeah.
League. Oh, okay, yeah.
Just a couple of them, I think. Yeah.
Okay. could just go through the questions.
Yeah, let's see which ones aren't thumbs it up or check marks. We talked about that. We talked about that. Oh, we talked about open air cinemas. I don't know why we never checkmarked this.
Oh right, yeah, we did.
I'll just put this.
Or we could do the am I the asshole? Well, actually, no. Okay, if we get bored of questions, we could do am I the asshole for the last half of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's interesting because like pretty much what. So it's like a Reddit thread. It's called r/AITA, and it's just like am I the asshole? It's just people giving stories or like situations where they've been in where like they had an argument with someone, for example, but then they feel like they're the asshole afterwards, and they just ask on the internet if they're the asshole in that situation. And some of the stories are pretty juicy and interesting. That's why I was like, hey, let's do that on the podcast. Let's just talk about it and discuss it. Because some of them are pretty good. But like, we'll go through some questions first.
All right, sounds interesting. Oh man, wait, Sky, did we talk about this question? I feel like we did talk about this.
Which one?
Or maybe we talked about this personally. Do you have a name in another language? If so, what does it mean?
Oh yes, we did talk about that personally.
Okay, but it wasn't. Okay, so we can just. Okay, here we go.
No podcast in there.
Yeah, okay. So, question is, do you have a name in another language? And if so, what does it mean? I'll start because I don't have a name in another language. I won't say my name for obvious reasons, but I have a white boy name, even though I'm not white.
Your name is Meteor Falcon.
Ha, true. But yeah, I have a white boy name. I was named after some like author of a book, I think.
Oh, I was named after an author of a book as well, but a Chinese author.
Oh, cool. What about y'all?
Yeah. Well, if I say so my family name literally just means money in Chinese. All right, that's literally it.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's and my dad said he named me after a Chinese author that he liked reading. And wait, let me see. But like the actual characters of my name, like it means joyful and beautiful jade.
Wow.
Kai.
That's cool.
Kai
Oh.
is adjective.
Yeah.
And then the Lin is like beautiful jade.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then my parents just wanted to give us similar names, so my brother has the same Kai in his name, but the the second character is Ray, so it's just like different. The second character is different, but the other two characters are all the same.
Interesting.
Yeah. I am joyful jade money.
Wow.
What about Sky's name?
So I guess important to note here that my Chinese name is completely different to my English name. Unlike
I think generally that tends to be the case. Like every Chinese person I've met who like if I go to Chinese school, right? All the Chinese person, their Chinese name is so much different to their English name. I don't know why my parents just like, oh, let's make her Chinese and English name similar just because it's easier to remember.
Probably because it's easy to remember.
I guess, but like no other Asian has the same Chinese and English now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, most Chinese people tend to give themselves a completely different English name.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What? Yeah. I tried to Google Translate my name. Google Translate was unable to help me.
Unfortunate.
So.
Wait, do you not have a Chinese name? Or
I do.
Oh.
I do.
No,
I do.
she doesn't know the translation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually,
use Pleco. Pleco will tell you. You just type in the characters and it'll tell you the definition of each character.
Let me.
But yeah, I actually, speaking of, I had a class in my Chinese school where we were talking about Chinese names and English names, right? And then they were talking about how like trends in Chinese name typically has like for guys, for example. They most typically have the word dragon in their name because dragons represent guys and phoenixes represent girls. But in girls, you wouldn't really have the character for phoenix in their name. Usually, it's always like flower in the name or
pretty pretty flowery characters.
pretty flower. Yes, that's the sign name for guys. It's like either it's king, like there's dragon and king. I forgot what it was, but I just remember dragon. But then the teacher was talking about how like how Chinese people make English names, and then sometimes they come up because they literally look for like the same rules in the Chinese name, and then they get English names like Little Flower or something. And it's the weirdest thing ever. And then they'll talk about how like Westerners, like for example foreigners, want to make Chinese names for themselves, also come up with really weird names.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. Like, and then I forgot all the cases of some funny names. But apparently there was like celebrities that had a bunch of funny Chinese names, but I forgot them all.
Oh man, that reminds me real quick, the tangent. I was listening to like music that YouTubers recommending to me, and there was a band that got recommended to me. It was like I'm trying to remember now. It was something chicken. No, I can't remember.
Something chicken.
Yeah. Like that's it was. How does the whole okay? I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna get back to this. 'Cause I lost it.
Sky, did you find the characters of your name?
What was the name of the website that you used?
Oh, wait, I was talking about the app, the Pleco app.
Oh, that's right. Was that the Chinese dictionary that you used?
Yeah. I usually just like handwrite and type my name in it and then just search it up.
Either way, I popped the characters for my name in the chat.
Okay.
Like investigate.
Well.
As for how I got named in Chinese, I think my mother approached a fortune teller.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
Yeah, superstition is extremely, especially when it comes to like, superstition is an extremely big thing in Chinese culture. So the whole point of, I guess, my name was supposed to, like the name has a function, if that makes any sense. Like
the first character. Oh yeah.
So the only part I remember is that So you know how in the second character there's like the radical in the qing means sun, right? But with this character you can also have with this character you can also have like many like different radicals, and it changes them. And I think it keeps the pronunciation of the whole character the same, but it kind of changes the nuance of the character. But apparently the fortune teller told my mom to put the sun radical in there because it needed to be there to balance out my yin energy or something. Yeah.
Wait, search. Hold up. I'm trying to. Is that qing? Is that actually a word? Because wait, found it. Never mind. Okay. Oh, qing. Oh, as in fine, clear. Oh, clear day. Oh, okay. I know. Okay.
Clear day. Holy.
Yeah.
I see.
The first character. Yeah. The first character also means. The first character also means happy, joyful, cheerful. Same meaning as my name. but yeah, dude. Chinese people are like, they're like so into their superstition. Like I don't know. I think I told you guys this in private chat, but like I don't know if I talked about this on podcast. But like, so my mum, right? Every time she looks for she's thinking of like investing in a house, right? She keeps considering the feng shui of the house. She's like, you can't. If you can see the table when you walk in through the front door, it's bad feng shui. You can't buy that house.
Wait, say that again. I want to visualize it.
If you walk into the house and you're able to see the dining table, it's considered bad feng shui.
Oh damn! I got bad feng shui.
There's also other things like the house has to face a certain direction.
The house itself?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Also, I heard something about the amount of mirrors in there. The amount of mirrors in your house. Like if you have too many mirrors, it's also bad feng shui.
What?
And then like the specific placement of your furniture also determines.
Yeah, I've heard about this furniture stuff. I've heard about the furniture stuff.
Yes, I found out about the house, where the house face stuff. Like when I moved into my new place, what my mom used to do was like she'd go up to my room. She starts pointing her phone compass at the window and it's like, "Oh, good, you're not facing the east. You're facing southeast, so it's not the same." And I'm like, "What?" Oh my, bro, what? Relax. Okay, that's not even true. Yeah, dude. Just like it's so inconvenient working with her superstitions because like she delays so many things. Like, oh no, it's bad feng shui. Oh no, oh my gosh, that's bad. And like, no, we can't do that anymore. And now I'm just like, oh my god. We had a plan. She cancels it because of bad feng shui, and I'm like, oh my god, it's actually so annoying.
So interesting. I guess maybe it makes more sense if like you're in the land of origin, you know? But it's
I
weird.
guess.
Yeah, but it's weird to be like in a place where like a lot of people don't like follow the same rules.
Exactly. Like, dude,
Cause I
we're
couldn't
in
imagine just
Australia.
like canceling a function or something like that just because of a feng shui thing.
Bad feng shui.
Yeah, because like we don't grow up with these things in Australia, and then like all of a sudden she's getting into. I swear she probably read like a bunch of WeChat article, and all of a sudden she's super into it, and I'm like, oh Jesus, so annoying. It's actually
Yeah, really
so...
be like that.
Dude, you know what else? Okay, the other funny thing is like, so you know my mum was complaining about like, you know how we were getting so much rain in Australia? It was like just almost 2 weeks
Oh
of
yes.
non-stop raining.
Really?
So
Jeez.
yeah,
I
yeah, we
think
were getting...
wait, when was this?
This was like just last week, honestly. It only just
Oh no,
recently
no,
came
no,
out.
that wasn't like 2 weeks on so it was more like we had like such a large amount of downfall for one day that there were flooding warnings. And
Oh no,
Jeez.
in my area, it legit did not stop raining for like a little over a whole week. Because
wow,
I
okay.
yeah, I could not like wash my clothes or dry it outside for the whole week, and I'm like I was just suffering, right? Because I just remember, yeah, that whole week, yeah, I was home the whole week and it just never stopped raining in my area, and I'm like Jesus Christ, okay. And there was like Facebook memes about how spiders coming up to high ground to avoid the burrows from
Flood,
getting
yeah.
flooded, and it's just spiders everywhere in some places in Australia. Absolutely gross.
Jeez,
But
dude.
yeah, yeah, my mum was blaming the bad feng shui on our prime minister. So yeah, she was
Okay.
like, "Oh, it's all because..." Yeah, she's like, "Oh, it's our prime minister's fault. It's raining so much," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
But
So whack, but it's kind of funny sometimes.
That is quite something.
Yeah, and I'm like, superstition. Oh boy. I think it's almost as bad as people getting into those horoscopes and stuff. It's like,
Horoscope.
oh, I'm a good pair.
Dude, horoscopes, like, okay. My problem with horoscopes is that, like, I if you, like, look at them for 2 seconds, you can just be like, all of these could be for anybody. They're so general. At least for, like, the
Yeah,
personality
exactly.
things.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
nobody's
exactly.
ever, like, solidly one thing, you know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah, exactly.
oh, this Leo is this, and this. And it's just like, that could be, like, a lot of people. You could be, like, any of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. You can't classify a whole group of people under like
Yeah.
one classification. It's just like, no, that's not gonna work.
And then it's so weird when they're just like, oh, I'm not gonna date this person because they're a insert horoscope thing here. And it's just like,
Yeah.
that's weird. That's weird.
Have you seen that meme where it's just like this guy lies about his horoscope and then the person's like, oh, no wonder you do, and then the guy's like, oh, psych, but I lied. I'm actually this. And she's like, oh yeah, of course that's something a Leo person would do. And he's like, but I lied. I'm not actually Leo. I'm actually this.
That's good. That's good.
And I'm like, all right, so much for your horoscopes. Um, wait, Synthesive asks if what made you guys want to main NP or just Raven in general? Oh,
do you mean
I think he
NI?
He
typed.
means NI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
NI. Yeah, we could.
We talked about this before. My quick TLDR is that I like the gameplay style of Raven. And then when Weapon Taker came out, it was like, oh snap, new Raven. I've been playing him ever since, and I like his style.
Yeah, fair. No, it's okay, Synthesive. It's all good. All good. We got it. We got it. Sky, do you want to answer next?
He was an attractive
Ah!
character.
Oh, he's an attractive guy.
At least that was what initially got me into Nova Infrared, but as I played him more and more, I grew to like his playstyle a lot.
Yeah.
And I guess for me, the whole glass cannon concept was extremely appealing. So I chose. So yeah, I put in the effort, I put in funds, and that's where I am today.
Yeah. My answer's pretty much the same as Sky. Weapons. I think I played back in late 2012, and then so this was before Weapon Taker came out. Weapon Taker came out, his splash art was completely different to everyone else, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy's so hot. I don't know why I was so upset. I was just like, I just fell in love. I was so obsessed with Weapon Taker. So then when he came out in NA, I was just like, as soon as he comes out in NA server, I have to play him. And then I did, okay, and I just like I've kind of just played him ever since. But then it's just like in regards to like, for example, Sky mentioned Nova Imperator's glass cannon concept. I actually don't like the glass cannon idea. I kind of wish it was more like Bruiser Tank kind of damage dealer, like Rage Hearts. So
Oh.
and like yeah, and
interesting.
actually generally like gameplay wise, I'm not that fond of Nova Imperator's gameplay. I actually do prefer playing Rage Hearts and Furious Blood over Nova Imperator. I think it's just because I've spent so many years playing Nova Imperator that I just like he's just got a special place in my heart because I've just like dedicated so much time to him. Like I'm starting to do. I like decided to do this system where like every free job change, I'm just gonna job change to Rage Hearts, and I'm just gonna alternate between Rage Hearts and Nova Imperator because I really like playing Rage Hearts that
In
much
the
more
worst
compared to
scenario,
Nova
just
Imperator.
blame Meteor.
But I just
What the
really
heck?
like the Nova Imperator's appearance.
Why me?
But yeah,
What did I do? Quenzel activated a touch to speak. I didn't say anything. Crow
Wait,
was
the worst-
talking. I didn't say
sorry,
anything.
just blame. Wait, why blame
I didn't do anything.
Meteor?
Crow was just talking about Nova and Rage Hearts and stuff.
Yeah, Meteor, I don't like Nova Imperator all because of you. That's why I like Rage
Okay.
Hearts.
I didn't do anything.
Nah. Look,
He's
all the
golden
Ravens
rule.
are great guys. Just blame Meteor.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh, real quick. I did look it up. So the band is called, we were talking about earlier with the names and stuff. So the band is called Bump of Chicken.
What?
Yeah,
Is
that's the name of the band. They do a lot of like songs for like you probably like animes and like video games and stuff like that. So the question is, right? Okay, why the heck are they called Bump of Chicken? That sounds stupid. Apparently, they like didn't quite understand like obviously English and stuff like that. So they thought bump meant like fight, right? And they thought coward meant chicken, which you know what I mean? Like it kind of does, right? Like bump could
Yeah.
technically mean fight, and like chicken, like coward. You know, people call people who are cowards chickens, but like they obviously didn't get the correct word. So they wanted to be called like Revenge of the Weak or like fight or the weak fight back, something like that. But obviously they used the words bump and chicken, not weak and fight. So
Oh
it became
no.
Bump of Chicken.
Oh no.
Oh no.
They just rolled with it. I mean, I'm sure they know now, but they just rolled with it.
Dude, translate. This is why understanding the subtleties and like just subtleties of different languages is so important.
I think they saw the symbolic meaning, but they
Right,
forgot the
right.
literal meaning.
But
Yeah,
they found
like-
synonyms, not or not even. They're not even synonyms. They're just kind of like like it
Yeah,
kind of means
actually.
that. Like chicken kind of means coward in a specific way of it, in a specific way.
Yeah.
Google
Even-
Translate is funny
Actually, even me when I
sometimes.
write things in
He'll just
Chinese,
blame
like
Meteor
there's
again.
like certain words I don't know how to write in Chinese when I know what I'm trying to say in English. So I go on the
Mhm.
Chinese dictionary and I search up the English word, right? And I see the Chinese character equivalent of that word. But then I'm always unsure, like does this sound right? I always have to go to my parents and just confirm. It's like, is it right if I write it like this? Because I'm scared like I get like issues like what happened there where like I write some stupid stuff in my report or something and it's just like, what the heck are you trying to say here?
Mhm.
Just be awkward.
That's fun. Okay.
How long has it been since we started? I lost track of time. Like I forgot when
we started around 45, I feel.
Okay, so it's only been 30 minutes. Okay.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. This is an interesting question. I don't know. I don't know. First of all, I need the backstory on this question, and then we'll answer it
Wait.
first.
Wait, which one?
The most recent one that isn't about this specific person. The guys, would you let your girlfriend slap your ass?
Okay,
This requires some context.
Wait, where's what? Okay, first before we answer that question, like, where did that come from?
I was streaming one time and fucking a Gika was in stream with me, right? And then and I don't know why every time I'm in call with Gika, it's just the most chaotic energy ever, and we talk about the lewdest conversation topics. And then I was just like thinking, and also this is just I was just thinking back to like when I was dating, right? And then like I'd
Okay.
slap my boyfriend's ass, but he'd be like very weirded out by it, and I'm just like, do guys just not enjoy being slapped on the ass? And so I'm like curious, like, because I asked Gika this question, oh, would you let your girlfriend slap your ass? And he said yes. So I was really surprised by that, and I'm like,
I think it okay. I think it depends because like if it was like how you said, where you just randomly did it, I'd be like, what the heck? Why'd you do that? But if it's like they asked, I'd be like, I guess if you want to.
what?
That's different. I feel like it's different.
Oh, because also I see like memes, right? I see memes of like, where it's like people who are in a relationship and the girlfriend like records themselves slapping their boyfriend's ass, but their boyfriend would get so triggered by it, like they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, I mean that I'd just be I'd just be confused. I'd be like, what are you doing?
Oh, okay. I thought it's like, because at the same time, I swear, like, because the guys I went to high school with, they're like, literally every day they're slapping each other's ass to the point where the teacher had to bring in someone to talk about like, respecting people's privacy.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So, okay, that's probably okay. So that probably evolved from like a sports thing. So I don't know why it's a thing, but like sports people, specifically football players, they slap each other's butts. I don't know why, but that's just something that they do. And I think, I guess the boys in your school just adopted that without the sports aspect, so they were just kind of doing it to each other. But yeah,
They called it the mum spice.
okay, I don't know about that, but yeah, that's something sports people do. That's something sports people do.
Okay, fair enough. Because I feel like, you know what? I was just thinking about it. Yeah, I slapped my female friends' asses as well, and it's like, so yeah, I guess, I don't know. I guess it's like a bonding kind of thing.
I don't know about that. I don't know why it's a sports thing.
Like, Media, would you go up to your bros and
No.
start slapping their
No, that's weird. 100% no.
But yeah, I just thought it was like it made guys feel very uncomfortable if their girlfriend like slapped their ass or something.
It's just
'cause,
weird, yeah.
Oh, okay. Would it? Oh, okay, fair. Yeah, because I was starting to think that only the gay people would enjoy getting slapped on the ass or something.
I have no, yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea why sports people do it. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know why people do it.
Look, different people have different tastes. Maybe
Yeah.
they're just like comfortable with their sexuality.
Well, I'm sure the guys in your school were just doing it because they thought it was funny, because they probably saw sports people do it and they just did it to each other.
Yeah, I don't know how it started, honestly.
I think they probably just thought it was funny.
I guess, but like I
Like
guess
stupid funny.
Like, there was one guy in our year group who was like super thick. Like holy crap, he was thicker than every single girl in our year group. And then I guess the guys in his friend group just kept making fun of it, and they just kept wanting to slap his ass. And then one day, one person actually did start slapping, and then I guess it just
Yeah, I think the joke just evolved, yeah, or devolved, yeah.
devolved.
Yeah, the joke just evolved from there.
Return to monkey. Well, I'm pretty sure that's how it started, because I think like the first slap that ever happened, it was probably a very shocking moment for everyone in the class. But then it just happened so often, we're just like everyone got used to it.
Yeah, that's very strange.
Yeah, high school boys are like, oh my god, they're a specimen.
I say you're the people that you met for sure. The guys that I met were pretty normal.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
The people you talk about are very strange.
What?
Yeah.
I actually think that's pretty normal, because I hear stories about like all boys schools, and like the stuff they do is like way worse than what happened in my school. Like,
I don't know about all boys or all guys, or all girls or all guy schools. I think those are weird too.
dude, because like, oh, I heard stories from all guys school, and they're so much worse than like the guys in my school, and I'm just like, holy shit, man. I don't know if Sky's heard stories about like North Sydney boys and then doing like weird shit on their campus, but like, I saw a study where it's just like an all boys school and all girls school will benefit girls, but all boys school literally have no benefits to guys. Like
Yeah.
they just devolve. Like it has more negatives than benefits. Like guys just don't know how to talk to girls after they graduate from high school and stuff like etc. etc.
Interesting.
So it has literally zero benefits to guys, but it benefits girls. That's it.
Okay.
It's a very interesting study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the weirdest people probably were like, just probably like usually like the younger students who like weren't ready for high school, like freshmen. Those probably the weirdest people, because they don't quite know what to do yet. I guess you could call it that. So they have that awkwardness about them. Unlike
Mature.
one thing about my school, maybe I've talked about it before, but there was just fights every day. Like people would just have fights every day. Like that was just a normal thing. Like it was legit just like everybody's running to one side of the cafeteria. It's like, oh, is that a fight? Oh, I guess a fight's going on. Anyway, that's back to doing whatever we were doing.
Anyway.
That was it was just literally just a typical thing. It was like, I know I say that and maybe it seems bad. It's like, oh my goodness, there was a fight every day. Nothing happened. Cause like the process would be two dumbos would start fighting. Everybody would run to where the fighting is, and then the security people would come and stop the fight. That's all that happened. 9 out of 10 times. Like usually no one really got hurt that bad, to be honest with you. Like sometimes people would, and that's like during the times that, no one was really at the school or whatever,
At that point, it's just tradition, and then
Yeah,
people are doing it for show.
At that point, people just, I guess people just didn't know how to handle themselves, and they just would start fighting. It's kind of funny, though. Like, everybody scrambling to see the fight was, like, actually the best thing for, like, the school itself, because that just showed the security people where to go,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's to keep the security guards on their toes,
Yeah, no, I mean, it worked. I mean, it worked for them. They were always on point. Like, the fight was over within, like, there was no fight. Like, the fight was over within, like, a couple minutes, if that, and everyone would just go back to what they were doing.
Oh, it was over before it even started.
Pretty. You see a large group of people running, you're just like, all right, time to stop this fight.
Didn't you say a story how like one time I think you said Kigo was looking after an international student
Yeah.
that was
So
working-
yeah. Have I told the story on cast before, or just to you guys
No,
personally?
no. It was
Okay.
just in DMs with Kigo.
Okay. So when I went to high school, we have obviously a Japanese course. So a tradition with the Japanese class is that once a year we'll get students visiting from a school in Japan. They'll come visit America, see what America's schooling is like and all that stuff. So that they'll do that couple of years. It's actually really, really fun, especially meeting all these people. Like I never took Japanese class just because I'm not very good at foreign language, so I knew I would fail. I didn't want that to affect my transcript. So I never took the class, but like whenever they were there, like they were always there at lunchtime, and interacting with them is fun like that. As best I can, I would usually just talk to them about like anime or video game characters, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I know that." And it's like, "Oh, that's cool, you know that," and it's fun. Oh, so one time, what happened is that again, like I said, just almost every single day, we always have fights at the school. And so we were all just kind of hanging out, like, at lunch, talking about whatever with these Japanese students. And then everybody starts gathering, right? And then we're just like all of the American students were there. We're just like, oh, I guess it's a fight's going on. And the Japanese students were just like, oh, what's that? And like Kigo's student, because everybody had a student, Kigo's student was just like, oh, what's going on? He was just like, oh, don't worry about that. You don't need to see that stuff. And so it's like we were just going on. And then our other friend, he was hanging out with us too, and we're just like, dude, where'd your Japanese student go? And then like, I've never seen a man run that fast. This man bolted to go find his Japanese student, who went to go with the crowd to see what was happening, just so they wouldn't witness a fight going down. Like,
It It sounds like taking a page out of like an anime script or something.
Yeah, like I'm sure they were just like curious, but like, oh, where are all these people going? It must be something interesting. It's like, no, 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 don't go there. You don't want to go
Come
there.
back.
You don't want to see people fight. You don't see people fighting in school. Like, oh my goodness, my friend bolted out there to try and fight because it was a girl too. Because he was paired up with a girl. This man bolted. It was so funny.
That's that's funny and it's kind of cute as well.
Yeah. I just remember being like, oh no, you don't want to see that, guys. You know, you don't want to see that.
Gotta save the pure eyes of the Japanese exchange students. No.
Huh. Man, speaking of school, I was telling some school stories on stream. Like speaking of high school, I remember another thing that happened was that maybe I told this to you guys or I've definitely told it to stream, but like I remember this one time, this girl got tased while at the school. Have you guys ever heard that story from me?
I don't. What?
I can't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. So anyway, yeah. So So I was walking to the lunchroom. Everything always happens during lunch. That's when people are free. So in our like kind of lunch area, there's an outside area we can eat outside or play sports during lunchtime or whatever. And I remember looking at the side of my eye, and I see this girl like running, and then she like. I don't know if she like pushed the dude or like punched him or kicked him or something, but she made physical contact with this cop guy and he like tasered her and then she was on the ground and I was like, well, I guess that happened. I just like saw that in the corner of my eye. I was like, okay, I guess that happened.
Did you do that?
Apparently, I heard later, apparently she was carrying the illegal substances to school. And they had found out and tried to apprehend her. And she tried to fight back. Don't fight back. Straight up.
Exactly. Why'd you fight back against armed cops?
Yeah, they just straight up tased her. She dropped like a rock. So
no.
I could. It's so funny too, because I can still see it clear as day in my mind right now. Like just me happening to look there and being like, oh, okay.
Oh, what the fuck? Yo, American schools are wild.
Yeah,
Honestly. What the heck?
Yeah, I mean, she might have been on the stuff, so that's why she had a little bit more confidence, maybe.
Jeez.
Maybe.
Well, actually, speaking of, you know how like about the exchange stuff, right?
Yeah.
My cousin did actually the same thing, except it was the reverse. It was her school going to Japan as an exchange students, right? But like, cause you know how like here in Australia, if you sit on tables during lunch or whatever, it's fine. But in Japan, that's like the most taboo thing you do. If you sit on a table, you're like a delinquent or something.
Oh wow.
Is it during break time? So during break time, when my cousin was there in Japan during break time with her, hanging out with her friends, they were sitting on the tables, the classroom tables, and then every Japanese student just kept walking past and staring. Just like actively avoiding them because they thought she was a delinquent or something, but no, it's just because like here in Australia it's okay to sit on tables.
Don't fight back.
But generally, like,
good luck.
Like when you get like buddies, right? Because when I did the China exchange for university, I did have a buddy like for my to tour us around the university.
Okay.
But then what ended up happening was like a lot of the partners, like a lot of the buddies, they just like they partnered up. And then they ditched their partner, like the Chinese.
Oh no!
And then like, and then we're just like, oh, and then they were without a partner while they were on their exchange. So then what ended up happening was they joined our group, which is sad because these people didn't know like a drop of Mandarin, right? Like if my partner abandoned me, it would have been fine because I would still be able to speak Mandarin and I could still navigate around the university campus. But they don't speak a speck of Mandarin, and then they had to join our group instead. Our partner was really nice. She took us like outside of campus as well to the best like places to eat. I swear, if I ever go back to China with friends, I'm taking them there. It's so good. The restaurant.
Nice.
I said, oh my god, restaurant China. I miss China for their food mainly.
Oh yeah, foreign countries always have really good food. I know India has like one of the cheapest things that you can get is like a really good meal. It's like really nice.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. And then I come to Australia, everything's so bland. There's no variety here. Come on, where are all our people?
I remember. I'm just gonna keep telling school stories until someone stops me. I remember there was another story. So obviously you guys know Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Yeah, so most of my friends in school were just like the Yu-Gi-Oh players. We would all just play Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. So there was this really nice kid that like he also played sports and stuff, but he was also like a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. But he didn't have enough. He didn't always have money, so he would like print out Yu-Gi-Oh cards to play with of any cards he didn't have for a deck, and like he would just play like that. And everybody was cool with it because he was just a nice guy, and everybody just liked him. He was just a nice guy, right? And then there was another guy. Complete opposite. He was a huge jerk. Emphasis on the huge, by the way. He was also a avid cheater, like very avid
Ooh.
cheater. I mean, like
Ugh.
whenever he would search for a card, you know, it's like you search in your deck to find the card, and then you add it to your hand. He would always search for it under the table to obviously put what he wants at the top of the deck, along with searching the card, right? And like, he always thought he was so slick, but everybody knew he was doing it. Everybody knew he wasn't slick. He was the only person who thought he was getting away with it and thought he was slick, but no one wanted to tell him or like get involved with him because he was annoying to deal with and argue with, and so like no one just everybody just didn't care, right? All right. So one day, the nice kid who like I remember he like was opening, he occasionally would open packs, and I remember he got like at the time it was like one of like the most rare spellbook cards, and he was just like, guys, guess what, I pulled this, and we were just like, dude, what the heck, how did you pull that, that's so crazy. And like we were like really happy for him because again, this guy didn't buy many cards, but he got this card, and we're just like, wow, that's so cool. Now flash forward, either it was a day or later on in the day, he was just like, he was like, guys, my card got stolen. And we were just like, oh, well, dang, what the heck? And he's like, yeah, my card got stolen. And then flash forward to the next day, and the cheater comes around. The cheater's just like, hey, guys, guess what I got? And it is the same exact card. And he was just like, yeah, dude, I got a pack yesterday, and I just pulled it. And we were just like, uh-huh. Like we were just going along with it. We were just like, interesting. But to all of us, we were just like, yeah, he definitely stole that card. Like, no questions about it. So
Ugh.
yeah. So me and my friends, we devised a plan. I remember me, Keegan, and a bunch of others, we devised a plan. We were just like, all right, we gotta get this card back. So we made a plan, right? So usually, this is what happened, right? During lunchtime, me and Kigo are usually one of the first people to get food, just because whenever I just come back from my class and go straight into the line for lunch. So we were just like, okay, me and Kigo are gonna get food first, because the cheater usually he would get his food later for whatever reason. I guess when the line's shorter. So we were just like, okay, we'll get our food first, and then we'll wait for him to go up and get his food, and then while he's gone, we'll try and get this card back. Okay, so I was like, okay, that's the plan. So we all got our lunch. We were the first ones back to the tables. We're sitting there eating. Everybody's doing their normal stuff, like playing Yu-Gi-Oh and all that stuff. And he decides, okay, it's time for me to get food. And we're just like, okay, it's time. So we at the corner of our eyes, we're looking, seeing if he's at a distance. Think we're at a distance. Okay, he's gone. Then we go. Then we're going. We're searching for this card. And like for a longest time, we just could not find it. He left his so first of all, he left his bag there. So obviously we're just like, okay, it must be in here. Like, and we were just wondering like, oh man, I hope it's not on his person. Like, where is it? Because we were going to like the big deep pockets. We were like digging deep in there. It's like, where is this? And then like, I don't know if it was Kigo or somebody else who suggested it, but it was just like, okay, look in the front pocket. And we were just like, it would never be in the front pocket. That'd be the stupidest place to put a stolen card in. Lo and behold, it was legit in the front pocket of like the front of the front pocket. Like, it was just right there. And we were just like, oh, got it. And then like, we zipped up the bag and all that stuff, put it back, gave it back to the original guy. And then like, I think later on in the day, we were walking to the buses, and then like, he approached us and he was like, oh, guys, my card got stolen. Someone stole my card. And we're just like, oh wow, dang, that sucks, dude. Like, we were just saying that, but we knew the truth.
Yeah.
Bro, honestly, just that it's good that there's honest people like you guys, because like holy shit, they scum of the earth.
Oh no,
scum like kids.
This guy was a jerk. He was a huge jerk. Like, he wasn't my friend, but he was like a friend of my other friend, you know what I mean? He was in the friend group. Yeah, like, oh man. Yeah. Another quick story about him too is another card game we played is Vanguard. Have you ever heard of Vanguard?
Yes.
I've heard of it, but I don't know
Card
much
Fight
about
Vanguard.
Yeah, card fight Vanguard. I remember one time I was playing him in Vanguard, and he was clearly cheating. I could see him clearly cheating, and I was just like, whatever, roll my eyes. And I beat him, while he was cheating, and like I don't know, that just felt so good. Like that's one of the matches in a card game I've ever had where like I felt like really good, just like being able to beat this cheater. I don't know, it just felt really really good.
it. Anime
Oh,
main
yeah.
character moment right there.
Yeah, like I remember after I was just like, dude, I can't believe I beat insert name here while he was cheating. Like that legit felt so good, like legit.
Dude,
Oh,
it's
imagine.
good to have like honest people around.
Mm-hmm.
I get like I should. Oh, dude, I'm so grateful for them. But there was this one time where like so I have this Raven keychain, right? It's like a
Mhm.
little that I used to hang on my phone, right? In back in high school, but like there was like multiple times where I actually lost that keychain. And what
Yeah.
happened was like one time it dropped off my phone, right? So
Mhm.
it dropped off my phone one time in the library, and I lost it, and I'm like, oh well, I'm never gonna be able to find that again. And no one I'm never gonna be able to find it. But then what ended up happening was like a kid found me, like a couple of days later, like I think a couple of days later, and he's like, "Is this yours?" And it's like apparently I just got like I carried him around so often that people just knew that that keychain was mine. And
Wow.
then the kid was able to find me, and he was able to return it. And then this other time, I was at my weekly violin and piano lessons, and I
Yeah.
was just on my phone before class. And then when before waiting for my dad to pick me up, what happened is like the Raven keychain dropped off again when I was waiting for my dad.
Ah.
And then it was like, so then I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'm definitely not getting it back this time. Then next week I come back, a kid hands me the Raven keychain, and he's just like, oh, you dropped this last week. And I'm like, holy shit, thank you so much.
Oh my
So
goodness.
there's two times where I should have lost it, but it was always returned to me, and I was so grateful for it because it's like, oh my god, because like, it's my favorite one as well, Raven.
You still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't take it out with me anymore.
You just hang it up in your wall or something?
Nah, just leave it on my desk now.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm scared it drops off, and I also it's a bit clunky to bring around.
Uh-huh.
I can take a picture and send it to you after podcast, but just like he's just a bit clunky, like because I have a Rena one and a Raven one, and like if they go in my pocket, it's really hard. It's just like they're really big
Oh, okay.
and it's a bit clunky.
Mhm.
So, and also because they're a bit dirty, and I've been meaning to clean them, but I've just like never been doing it. I'm like, okay, you know what, screw it. I'll just leave them here, and they can just be like part of my collection instead.
Yeah, that
So-
makes sense.
Yeah, I'm grateful for honest people.
Hmm.
But oh yeah, actually though, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, when you mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh, I was like, I think I talked about this before, where in my school in like grade 7, there used to always be like a group of kids. They just play Yu-Gi-Oh every single lunch break,
Mm.
and then so they became known as the Yu-Gi-Oh squad. And then every time like you're asking every time you're asking like what, because I play handball, I play sports during
Yeah.
lunch break with the other guys, right, the other group of guys, and then they were just like, oh where's this person? And I was like, oh, he's sending people to the Shadow Realm in the canteen area.
That's funny. That's cute. That's cute.
So it's like, just like because they know about, because I guess like because Yu-Gi-Oh was a kids show, pretty popular kids show, right?
Uh-huh.
And they know about like things like, oh, Shadow Realm.
That's
So
hilarious.
then they always make these jokes. Like, so the Yu-Gi-Oh squad weren't considered like the uncool kids or the nerds or something. They were just like just different groups, and people just respected one another. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like we never had the whenever I hear about people like getting bullied and stuff like that for like geeky things, I'm always just confused because like whenever like me and my friend would play Yu-Gi-Oh, the only people that would come around and be like, oh, I remember this game, oh, I remember playing it as a kid, like that's it. And, like no one was just like, oh, you playing that, you're a bunch of nerds. Like I've never experienced that, at least in high school.
I guess unless it's just like fictional stories, just really like
yeah.
to like exaggerate.
Or maybe it's smaller schools, because like we had a really large school. Like I think we had one of the largest high schools like in the nation or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just
No,
like
but
I don't know. At the same
But my
time, like,
school- my school was very small though. I
Mhm.
I thought it'd be like people would be closer with one another in a small school than compared to like
Yeah.
big schools.
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't. I guess it's just like, I mean, at the same time, like none of us really looked like stereotypical like nerdy or things like that either. We just look like normal people. We just happen to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Wait, that's what generally like
Yeah.
quotation mark nerds would look like. I think it's just like fictional like movies.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
media
maybe
and
like,
stuff.
yeah,
It's
maybe
like
everything
the-
is just like exaggerated, like super exaggerated.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. Do we want to do the am I the asshole stuff?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Sky, are you still here? Oh, yeah, Sky. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I've just been silent the whole
Alright,
time.
let me. Yeah, I was trying to look for the interesting ones that I specifically wanted to bring up during podcast, but I'm scrolling through the page that I found them on, and I can't find it, so I'm just gonna go directly to the Reddit page, and I'll just see whatever title is interesting.
Okay.
Let me see.
You can sort by like top or something. That's usually what I do for Reddits.
Oh, I think it's automatically like that.
Okay.
Wait, because like I'm like okay, so I'm just trying to go through and find some interesting ones. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
huh? Wait, okay, this one says, am I the asshole for telling someone not to talk to me if they keep calling my husband my boyfriend? Oh, okay. So
Is
I'll
it
read.
possible for you to put in a link? Because
Yeah,
at least for
definitely.
me, I find it extremely helpful to be able
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, link it in
and I'll,
Twitch chat or us personally.
yeah,
Feel free.
I'll link it in the group chat. Oh, wait. Oh, do you want me to link it in the Twitch chat, or should I read it out for people in Twitch chat?
Both.
I think definitely read it out.
Yeah, both.
Okay. So this one says, I got married in my early 20s, which is obviously super young, maybe even too young, but we are in our mid 30s now, still together and with kids, and an acquaintance Elizabeth, mid 40s, with mutual friends, continues to call my husband my boyfriend as a way to tease us for being young and getting married so young. Despite being married for almost a decade more than she and her husband have been together, she makes this joke every time we talk. I told her it bothers me when she says that, but it has continued somewhat regularly for 4 years, and each time I tell her to quit it. We recently got together outside with all of our friends for the first time in ages, and she came up to me and my husband and our kids and said, "How's your boyfriend? I mean your husband." And I straight up told her not to talk to me anymore and walked away. We ignored each other all afternoon, but neither of us made an effort to connect. Later that night, I get a stream of texts from our friends telling me I'm being too mean and that she was only joking since we are just younger than a lot of our friends in our group. I said that I told her to stop and she didn't stop, and now I just don't want to talk to her anymore if she can't view us and treat us as adults. Am I the asshole?
I don't think so. She told him to stop, and they didn't. Like
Yeah.
y'all ain't funny. Like
Yeah.
y'all ain't funny.
I feel like
That's what I think, at least.
Like, yeah, here's the thing with jokes is like I feel like people there's even cases where I've been like guilty of this, where like I make jokes and like the other person probably doesn't like it, but like the person never really specifically told me, but I will just continue
Yeah.
making the same joke over and over again, right? And it's just like they think it like the person who makes the joke think it's funny, but then they don't realize that they don't realize the boundaries and that the other person might be feeling uncomfortable about the joke and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like I don't. Yeah, I mean like 4 years and still didn't get the hint. Yeah, I don't think they're an asshole.
Yeah, like a 4-year long joke, and like okay, that's that's the thing with jokes, right? If you make a joke, and the other person has to give back a positive response, even if it's a sarcastic positive response, if they're just like ha ha, or just like the nose, like when air exits your nose, like a you know what I mean? Like that's a positive response. But if they respond like stop saying this joke, that's when you stop. Like if you keep going, you're an a-hole. Yeah, that's what an
it's
a-hole
just a
does.
joke. Mhm.
That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, I agree. I pretty much agree. I feel like most of these AITA stories is like you're probably gonna side with the person who made the post.
That too, you know, like
Um,
of course this is a
yeah.
biased story from one side, you know.
Yeah, but the one I was trying to look for, so the one I don't know how is AITA. I'll just say AITA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm reading posts from AITA, but there was like one post where like this guy he was gonna get married to his fiance, right? And he
Okay.
has a pet dog, and then his fiance, he had to go out for a weekend. His fiance was having a what's that pre-marriage party, that kind of thing.
Bachelorette.
a bachelorette, I think it was, but it's like it's a girl having the party,
Yeah,
right?
bachelorette. So that's that
Yeah.
one.
So then the guy was like, "Oh, can you lock my can you lock my dog in the bedroom so that nothing bad happens, etc., etc." But then like what had that happening was like,
I think I know this one. I think I know this one.
I might know this
oh,
one too,
you think
actually.
another.
Yeah. We'll keep
Yeah,
going.
she
Go on,
like
go on.
ended up. Yeah, she ended up like she wasn't able to look out. She didn't lock the dog. She didn't like properly lock the dog in the room or something. And then the dog actually came out and drank a lot of alcohol and ate a lot of chocolate. And then she called up her fiance and be like, "Oh no, something's wrong with the dog. We might need to take it to the vet." And then he rushed back and took the dog to the vet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the vet said that the dog consumed way too much chocolate and alcohol,
Oh
and because
no.
of that, yeah, and because of the guy was just boyfriend, the fiance was just super pissed at his girlfriend, and he was just saying, "All right, we're calling it off," and then he just like called off the whole wedding and just like
Ooh.
kicked her out of his house, and then at the bottom he also says that like she has a habit of being very careless and like is texting while driving as well. So it's like this was just kind of the last straw moment.
Okay.
Cause like not gonna lie, okay for me reading after that bit, I was just kind of like, wait, that's a bit excessive.
Yeah,
Like,
if that's
she
yeah,
didn't
if this
admit-
was the first
yeah,
thing, like maybe that's a bit excessive.
yeah.
But if this is
I
like
was like,
the 50th, you know.
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
something.
That's what I was like. If it was like the first time, then I was like, okay, that's a bit of an asshole move. Like she admitted, because like first of all, I don't know, like you know how like people love their pets so much, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, I don't think you should put a pet's life too high on a pedestal though. Like, I guess people are different, but if you're
Yeah.
like, for example, if that was a case of a first time case where the fiance, she was just like, "Oh screw this," he was just like, "Oh screw this, I'm out," and just like first time because she almost killed his dog.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a bit extreme. Like, if it was a first time, what do you think? Like, if it was the first time she actually, if it was like, if that was just the first time she was being careless, would you still like think it would be right for the husband to call off the relationship because she almost killed the dog?
I mean, it's hard for me to say just because I have no personal connection to animals, so I can only assume how people feel. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I hear things about people like, "This is my best friend. He's like always there for me. How much they love their dogs." And to see like a dog like he specifically told her to lock him inside, and then he got out and did and was subjugated to this, and like that would really suck. I'm just yeah, it's just hard for me to adapt to the situation because I don't have connection to animals. I mean, like I feel like if he did react that way, I'd be like, all right, I somewhat understand where you're coming from. Like maybe this isn't the smart thing to do. Maybe you acted too soon or things like that. But like I could go I think I could go 50-50 of the sense of just like, okay, if this dog meant so much to you that your potential wife almost killing that dog, if you could see that as just like a warning sign almost to like future things that could happen, or if that dog meant so much to you that you want to do that, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. Or I could think the other way where it's just like, this is just the first time, and that she at least called you and told you to come back. She didn't wait the next day or something like that, because she did at least do that. That's something I did notice, is that she called him as soon as something was wrong. So I think I could go 50-50 if it was the first time. It's in the sense that it's the first time.
Yeah, I feel like if it was like the first time.
This wasn't though, right?
Yeah, this wasn't
Wait,
though.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this wasn't.
yeah. Crow,
this
Crow
was
just
like-
added that to ask the question.
Like, if
Okay.
it was the first time, like, what do you think, Sky? If it was her first time and she was like, she fessed up to her mistake in the story. Like, she was like, she's telling her boyfriend, "Oh no, something went wrong. Could you come home and check it out?" Like, she fessed up. Like, she admitted her mistake. Like, if this was her first time, would you still be like extra mad at her and break off a whole wedding?
I think I don't think so. I think just an
Yeah.
extremely stern, serious talking to.
Yeah,
Because if you're at the point, because if you're already at the point in which you have decided that you want to spend however many years of your life with this person,
Mm-hmm.
then I think like the fact that you've already locked it in is kind of, there is already some commitment there, and so losing out on that commitment is not particularly desirable.
What is it?
So I think especially
Go ahead.
so okay, so I think in the first time, so I think because it's a first time, like if it was a first time, I would extreme stern talking to.
Yeah, heat of the
Yeah.
moment things are crazy. Like sometimes you just do things in the
Mhm.
heat of the moment without thinking about them, but that's realistic at the same
Mhm.
time too. Is that people just
Mhm.
do react like that.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I agree
Give-
with like so what Sky said. Yeah. Yeah.
Given that she's been careless multiple times,
yeah,
I think it vastly depends on uh like how often does she do this? Like it's because texting while driving is like
yeah. That's
endangered.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a really dangerous
That's
thing.
that's why it's penalized.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
he was talking about like he doesn't want her carelessness to or like almost kill their children or something.
yeah,
Like kick their, have kids.
I definitely get that because I'm sure in the past he's probably thrown it off in the sense of just like, okay, I can this is only affecting me or it's only affecting her. But I think when it comes to the fact of just like, okay, now it's affecting something else I care about, which is my dog. That's when it's a problem. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
feel like if things only affect you, you can like excuse it because like, okay, I can deal with this. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, I agree with like what Sky says. Like, because even as someone who's like, I own a lot of pets, right? But I feel like I would not put like if I was in that situation and if my fiance did that, like it was the first time they made that mistake. I still think I would like call off a whole wedding just because of that. If it's the first time instance, so I just don't feel like yes, it's fine to like love your pets, right? But sometimes I feel like when you weigh up like animal life with your own livelihood, I don't know. Sometimes you kind of do have to pick one over the other.
Yeah, I get that
So
too.
it's like,
And it's just like
yeah.
I think the whole situation I'm sure isn't as detailed. Like maybe she did, lock him up as best as she thought, but maybe not as intensely as she could have. And like once the dog got out, maybe she tried to put it back. Like I don't like it depends how careless she was too.
The story is not that.
Yeah, like if the dog got out and like dashed into the kitchen and then like just started eating up whatever was there and they tried to ral it back in, you know what I mean? Like I can't be too mad for that because just like okay, a mistake could have happened and it got out, you know what I mean? But if just like it could be the other way of just like what if it got out and they're just like oh the dog got out and they didn't care until he got sick, you know what I mean? Like that's messed up. Like that's super messed up.
Okay.
Yeah, those details aren't there, so I can't really give like. That's why I was like 50-50 because like I just I don't understand like I don't understand how important animals are to people. Like I can somewhat understand, but not that really. And then like obviously some details are missing because it's from one side.
But yeah, I like what you said. How like if it was just like recurring issue of the girls, I'd be like, okay, right, that's the last straw. We gotta end it.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay, there is a. Okay, so this one over here is like this was the one that actually I found the one that I actually wanted to talk about on podcast because it's like this one's the really controversial. This one's actually a bit more. Wait, let me send it in the chat.
Okay.
This one is woman asks her husband to turn down his dream job because of her career. Is she wrong?
Oh, that's an article.
Oh, yeah, well, there is the AITA there because like it's all from the article, but then I didn't want to go on because the article actually posts like the most interesting, the most controversial ones I think, and would be most like easy to discuss. Wait, let me let my cat.
I looked for the original story.
Okay, yeah, I'll read it out.
Okay.
Because the original story is still up here, but pretty much the context is, I'm going to be very okay. She's good. Okay, whatever. I am 33 female and the breadwinner of our household. I have multiple highly specialized degrees for a niche industry. I make 200k plus with potential to get in the 600 millions range. I think that's what it says. Okay. I think that's what M stands for. My company has not been hit that badly by COVID, so most of us have kept our jobs, but we're held to strict standards. My husband, 36 male, has a broad degree work experience. He quit his job right before COVID hit, hoping for a better job in the meantime, and I was supportive. He spent a ton of time applying to various jobs and finally landed an interview at Organization X. This is his dream job in almost every imaginable way. However, it's paying about 65k a year, which would be fine, except this job directly puts my job stability at risk. My company and its organization are adversarial at best. My field is extremely secretive, and if clients discovered my spouse was working for a competitor, I would be permanently tainted. I wouldn't be able to get a job in the industry forever. I know this sounds like an exaggeration, but I promise you it absolutely is not. It'd be like if I worked in protecting the privacy of celebrities and he worked for TMZ. If he
Okay.
tapped my car, got into my work devices, he could use that to advance his career, and any trust I have in this field will be gone. Even if I trusted my husband not to do that, my clients and husband don't. My clients and company don't. Worse, because my background is so specialized, this is the only field I can work in. I asked him to drop from consideration for this job since if he got it, we'd lose my income. 65K a year cannot support us in this city. Plus, he does not have to work for us for this organization. Even if the job market is awful right now, his background gives him access to a wide range of jobs, but I only have this one niche field. He was extremely angry and said I was selfish and only cared about money. I told him that if he wanted to go back to school for an advanced degree or just be unemployed for a while, I would support him, but taking this job isn't possible. He continued the process behind my back and got the offer. He wants to accept it because he says his career needs to take priority and that I wasn't being a supportive wife. I feel so betrayed and I've contacted all relevant higher ups in my company to inform them. I notified them as soon as he got the interview because it's better coming from my email than from a background check. I told him he could decline the offer with me watching him physically decline it, or he could accept the offer and move out immediately. I would pay for him to stay 2 weeks at a hotel, and we would begin divorce proceedings. My company is willing to take care of all my legal fees. I feel fucking awful. I still love him. I moved decisively because this was the best way to cut my losses, but it still hurts. He called me heartless and cold. It's true that I was prioritizing my career over his, but it felt like the only option at the time. That's a long read. That's a long one.
Yeah, okay, man, I was actually with the girl until like the very end, actually. Like, that's okay. So, if we're only talking about the first half, where it's just like before anything happened, so woman has very successful job making 200K. Guy wants to get his dream job, that's 65K, but that puts the wife at risk because they're competitors, you know. Which sucks, you know. It sucks that two people can't work a separate job, even if it conflicts. Like, it shouldn't matter, but I'm not surprised companies would be so petty to do that. So I think in that aspect, like, I think I'm with her, right? I think with then and there, I'm with her because it's just like her reasonings make sense. She's making more money at the moment. He's making not enough. He would have to advance to just make the same amount. And she could lose her job in this very specific niche. It's like, obviously the details are fuzzy too. Like, you know, she could potentially lose her job, and that would suck. And it seems like, again, she made it in the way so that he could get more jobs. Okay, he could get a different job if he doesn't want this dream job. So then and there, I'm with her, and then it gets messy on both sides. You know what I mean? Because he goes behind her back, which is just like, dude, what the heck? Why are you going behind her back? And it's just like, he goes behind her back and like applies to a job. And does he tell her, or she finds out?
I think she finds out.
Okay,
yeah,
so
she finds out.
So she finds out, and does she talk to him about it before she reacts? I need to relook.
I don't know. She kind of just
It
says
seems like she
that
reacted
she
faster, yeah. Which is
I think she
my
gave him
problem.
the option where like he needs to decline this offer with her watching him decline it, or his choice is to accept it and they get a divorce.
Yeah,
And
like,
I think she gave him that option.
like okay, like I get he went, but unless she's just missing something there, like I get he went behind her back and did something that he probably shouldn't have done. Okay, fine. I don't think you go straight to the ultimatum. You know what I mean? Like, I think you try at least one more time to be like, understand what this means to me. Like, I might be out of the job and we might be losing a lot of money for this household. We might have to move out. You know what I mean? Like, I think give him the scenario of just like, this is what is gonna happen, and then you maybe take it to this level. I like making an ultimatum is just that's an oof. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just not sure. Like, I don't know if she specifically like laid, because like I feel like, you know from like reading it, from what I'm understanding, it feels like the husband doesn't realize the direty of their issue. Like, he doesn't realize like how bad it is for him to accept this. I don't know if she never explained it to him properly.
Honestly, I think you're right. I think maybe when she was explaining it, she was explaining it from a, this is how it's going to impact me, instead of this is how it's going to impact us kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like she might have worded it better in this post than when she was talking about it with her husband. Either that or her
Probably.
husband like completely misunderstood her.
Yeah, because I can't logically put myself in the husband's shoes and do what he did, like go behind her back. Because
Mhm.
logically, again, what she's saying in the first half makes sense. Of we're making 200K for both of us, and that's working fine. If you work for this job, I'm going to lose my job. You're going to lose 200K, and we're only going to gain about 65K. So we're gonna lose a bunch of stuff for us, maybe even the house, maybe even all these extra things we've been getting. And then I as wife, as the wife, probably can't find a job for a while, so we had to deal with living with 65. Even though we've been living with 200 for a while, when it could have just been you find a different job and we could keep the 200. Like logically, this makes sense. That I don't understand why the guy did this. Like.
Mhm. I feel like
Unless the details were there, you know what I mean? Like, it's so
Yeah.
undetailed that maybe in the details I could see why the guy would do this, because I can't figure out why the guy did this.
it could be also like a matter of pride.
Right.
She
The
did.
guy's just like, yes, guy.
It is listed here that it is his dream job.
That's true.
This
Like,
is literally everything he could have wanted.
Mm.
it's.
So I think it depends on
I
the kinds of
guess
things he values, I suppose.
maybe. Like,
I feel like
Yeah.
in cases like this, I feel like a divorce is just the best choice. Because I feel like, yeah, you're just two people with two completely different career mindsets, and it's just like, yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out anyway.
maybe it's just. It's just tough because it's just like I wanted to be on the wife's side the whole time, and then she just instantly snapped the ultimatum. It seemed like it at least, where I'm just like, okay, now you're kind of the a-hole because of how you snapped back. You know what I mean? Like
I guess.
like frame one going to the leave everything or leave me kind of thing. Like that's I get it,
like-
right? I get it, but it's just like, dang, dude.
I feel like it's kind of like, yeah, I guess you.
Okay. I think taking the whole post in mind, I'm 100% on both. They're both a-holes. I think taking the whole post in mind, they're both a-holes. Taking only the first half before anything happened, only the dude's an a-hole. But
Okay, fair.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It's a tough situation. I feel like what else
Mhm.
can the woman do? Like, I guess she was just so worried about her job.
Oh,
losing her
and that's
job,
real,
because, like,
yeah, and that's real, and I think I agree with you when that with the whole post in mind, divorce is probably the best thing because it's like what's done is done, and she has to do what she has to do. So I agree with you there that probably divorce is the best thing. Like, but I don't think it should have got to that point. I guess is my main thing.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it was just an unfortunate case of like if they couldn't solve solve it like the conflict over there, then I don't think it would have been good enough. Like they probably divorce was probably the best option there. I think.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you're just gonna have two conflicting careers and there's like one's trying to sabotage the other person's career, I was just like, yeah, that's just not gonna work
Yeah,
out.
but again, I think it's like that. He just wasn't explained it enough, you know? Because
Definitely.
I feel like even with taking the dream job in mind, like you gotta have just like a good amount of logic at least, you know? Like I think it's mainly because I'm missing the details, because it's just like, what dream job could be so specific that you couldn't even do the same field? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just so undetailed that I can't quite grasp like the specificity of his dream job. Like,
Actually, we can read the comments of like what other people on the internet responded with and what they think.
oh sure.
So yeah, this one person says, you told him from the beginning that if he took his job, it would end your specialized career. He went ahead with the application behind your back. So he's just like saying, oh yeah, you're not the asshole here, your boyfriend's the asshole. And then other people just pretty much saying, oh, you've been in your career field longer than he has. He's straight up moving on without taking a job with your direct competitor, which will ruin your career. He's calling you. Yeah, so he's saying pretty much most people I think agree with her
Mm-hmm.
and saying that yeah, the husband is the asshole who's trying to willingly destroy her career, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. But like,
so-
at the same time, like I think he's an a-hole, but at the same time, I don't think he's necessarily
At
wrong.
all, like the actually bad, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's a
Well,
bad
yeah.
guy, and I don't think he's wrong with
Yeah.
calling her heartless, because I honestly think she kind of is, because she's a bit too logical. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, dang, she would have just went like, okay, if you're gonna do this, all right, bye. Like, not even, damn, dude, like really? Like, I'm just like, with the ultimatum though, dang.
Oh. I guess if she's the breadwinner, she really doesn't have any. She doesn't have
Yeah,
much to lose.
yeah,
She
for
doesn't need to
sure.
be worried about anything.
Mhm.
But it's unfortunate. I feel like,
'Cause-
yeah, but I feel like divorce would have been the best option there. Anyway.
Like, I think another thing that bothers me about the wife later on in the post is that when she found out he applied, she contacted everybody in the company and told them, like,
Yeah, because
that just feels
her reasoning
weird.
her reasoning was she doesn't want them to find out through a background check. She'd rather they find out
Okay,
through her
okay,
personal
fair
email.
enough, fair enough,
So
fair
that-
enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Otherwise, like if they find out through a background check, they're like she might be even more screwed or something. I guess.
Well, again, it goes back to the vagueness. It seems like she added in that she could tell him to decline the offer. Did she not go to them and was just like, you know, how do I say this in a way that makes sense? If in that email, let's say, she added already the part of just like I can tell him to turn down the offer. You know, how maybe ask of just like, I don't know, maybe that's too childish to me to say, to be like, is this an issue? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Just like
Yeah, like it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy thing, right? Like what if like she contacted the company, told them about this, and they were just like, that there's probably no that, and they just didn't have an issue with it. You know what I mean?
oh, true. Like yeah, true. It feels like she contacted.
She
the
almost
company
gave them the
just first, like,
fear, maybe.
yeah, she's just like, oh, this is an issue. I'm gonna break up now.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
like
divorce.
this is an issue, and I'm gonna fix it. And then the company was probably just like, okay, cool,
Okay.
I guess. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
True. When you put it that way, definitely different perspective on it. So I
Yeah.
guess, yeah, it's definitely a tough one. I think this.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's so non-specific. And I'm not saying that it should have been specific because, you know, like you can't just out your company like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe you should. I don't know. Maybe you should make it less of a. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty crappy environment to be like, yeah, your spouse can't get this job because they're direct
She says it's a
competitors.
very niche occupation though, so I guess it's like, and she's not allowed to be
Yeah,
specific about it. So, oh,
yeah. Like it's
yeah, but-
again, it's hard for me to be on her side when she's not specific enough. That like her being not specific, I feel like would give more credit to the dude, because she's not specific. I can't give credit to the dude. Like I'm just like, I don't know what career he wants. I don't know what career she has. Like I can't gauge the impact. So I'm just left with what she gave us.
True. Okay. So I guess we're like
I
sitting on the fence for this one.
I think in general, I think for me in general, after talking about all this, I think both of them are a-holes. I think the guy is a slightly bigger a-hole because he took the first step of just being like going behind her back, and that kind of
Yeah,
started the
yeah.
chain, you know. So
Yeah.
I do think that guy's the bigger a-hole, but they both are a-holes. That's how I feel.
They both probably could have taken different steps and just like sorted it out
Yeah.
and saved the marriage, but they didn't.
Yeah.
You know what they say? Hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
Hindsight is 2020. Do be
I don't know. What do you guys feel? Do you like who's the a-hole, who's the not?
I feel like, dude, I kind of agree with you. I'm kind of a fence sitter on this in this regard.
Mhm.
Actually, I think I agree more with the wife than the boyfriend. I think the boyfriend is a bit of an asshole.
Yeah,
Well,
because
like-
he did take the first wrong step.
Yeah, I feel like he was being a bit immature,
I agree.
especially just like just like he's kind of just impossible. Like, oh my god, my favorite career. I'm gonna take it. I disregard my wife's issues with it, and then. But I don't know if it's because of a pride issue where like he just doesn't like living in someone else's shadow. It's just really uncomfortable and
Yeah,
suffocating,
I mean that is,
and he really wants to get out.
that could be a thing too. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah,
he didn't want his wife to be the
yeah,
breadwinner, and he wanted.
yeah.
That could be it. That
He
could be
wanted to
it.
contribute to the household. I guess in that aspect, and I feel like the wife is a bit like narrow-sighted for not considering this about her boyfriend or her husband. It's like, cause like it's kind of like, yeah, it doesn't feel good to be able to live under someone's wing your whole life, you know, and just be like,
Yeah,
you
especially
just
if they
feel
don't
like you're
want to.
freeloading off of
Yeah.
them. Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, she kind of failed to like think about her husband's feelings as well. Yeah, actually, now that I think
Oh
about
yeah,
it,
she seems very like almost too logical.
yeah, she failed to think about her husband's feelings and perspective at all. And throughout this whole, I don't think she ever specified like anything about. She just says that it's her husband's dream job, but she never even considered like the implications of telling her husband not to take this job, like what kind of effects it could have.
Yeah,
on
and
him.
like
how he could be feeling.
yeah, and you saying that reminded me too of just like, there's no way you can have a job making 200K and you can't get another job. You know what I mean? It almost feels like that's impossible.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you're
maybe we don't know.
It may be, of course, maybe, but like unless it's an illegal job, like those freaking your like what is it called? Your resume is probably popping off. Like
No.
you're making 200K. That's very solid.
She did say she was working a niche field.
Maybe, but
Like
like
extremely sure. Like she'd have to she might have to go back to the books if she wanted to do something else.
Yeah, like on the other hand, her husband has a really broad degree where he can
guess.
go into any field.
But what job is that? You know what I mean? Like it's like what the heck
Yeah,
job is that?
Yeah, I'm like, what kind of job is this that's niche? Well, can you think of anything, Sky, that's like a niche job where like if you're in this career, you can't go anywhere else?
I have no clue.
Like I'm not even
Yeah.
saying like okay, like maybe it's so niche that like she can't start making 200K immediately. Like okay, sure, it's so niche that you can't get any other job and you have to go back to school. I cannot believe that. I just cannot believe that.
True. I'm
Like
I'm
unless
trying
it's
to
some
think,
like
what
illegal
kind of
job.
is it?
Like what are we talking about?
True. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Little bit so. I feel like this is one of the cases where like you'd side with the
There's always writer
okay.
bias. Yeah.
Yeah. There's always two sides to every single
Yeah.
argument. Huh.
Yeah.
I guess we're just gonna go with that. We're gonna sit on the fence for this one, this AITA.
Well, I don't know. Sky, are you on any other side of the fence or what?
I guess it really, I can approach it from two perspectives. That I can approach it from a personal one, or I can attempt to make as an objective stance as possible. If I were to make an objective stance, then I think, as Miguel said, there is insufficient information in this.
Yeah.
There is clearly writer's bias in this, and therefore we don't have the full picture, and therefore making a judgment is, or at least making a fair judgment, is impossible because we only have one perspective.
Yeah, I agree.
On the other hand, if I were to make, like if I kind of imagine myself to be in a situation and I allow my personal biases to speak, then I would side with the wife 110%. At least because I don't see relationships, especially marriage, in a good light. And the fact is that if he takes this job, the overall net harm is much greater than if he didn't take the job.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because her working in this doesn't jeopardize his job opportunities. Well, at least this gets, how do I say it? If he took this job, her job would be in jeopardy.
Yeah.
If she didn't, if she stays in this job, he says, like, she clearly states that his educational background is broad enough that he'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I think her prioritizing individual financial independence over a relationship is, I think, something that will never go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
I agree with that aspect. What Sky think? I felt like divorce was the only good option here in this case. I feel like shit. I feel like in the end,
Yeah,
I feel like
if it is
divorce.
exactly how it's
Yeah.
presented here to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I just feel like those two were just not gonna be able to solve it between each other. So there's like I feel like just go with the divorce. It's like it's just not gonna work out between those two anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As a couple. Okay. Do you want to do one more, or do you guys want to do something else? Like,
We can do another one.
okay. So this other one is another controversial one that I read. I found the old ones that I read and I brought them back up. But this one is. Am I the asshole for wanting my daughter's boyfriend, soon to be fiance, to know her dark secret before marriage?
Oh, this one.
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
Whatever.
Oh, wait, you know this
Um,
one? Did you link it?
Yeah.
I'll link it now.
Okay.
It's another like article about it, but
Okay.
all the stuff is there. So it says, I'm the dad of a 25-year-old young woman who I love very much. I've been
Okay.
able to have a good relationship with my daughter and I enjoy my time with her, but there's one thing about her that would give many people pause. She is a diagnosed sociopath. She exhibited odd, disturbing behavior at a young age, and after a serious incident of abuse towards her younger sister, I realized she needed professional help. Throughout her elementary years, she struggled heavily, getting in lots of trouble in school for lying, cruelty, and all other types of misbehaviors. With an enormous amount of therapy and support, her bad behavior was minimized as she grew older. She received an ASPD diagnosis at 18, and I had suspected it for long prior.
Oh, sorry. Just to interrupt.
After
ASPD is. What is it? Is it autism? Sorry. Let's see. Antisocial
Anti-
personality disorder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. After her aggressive behavior was tamed, her following years were much more fruitful. She's law-abiding, has a decent job and a good education, and has many good friendships and admirers, especially male admirers. She is very, very charming and adept at attracting guys and maintaining their interests. He- Uh, she uses
She.
that old dating guide. Oh yeah, she uses that old dating guide, The Rules Like a Bible.
The heck?
She currently has a boyfriend of about a year and a half who's crazy about her and who I have a very strong relationship with. We live in the same area and spend time together regularly. He's a great guy, very, very kind, funny, and intelligent. But I doubt she loves him. We've had
Oof.
some very honest, in-depth discussions about her mental health since her diagnosis, and she's been open with me that she doesn't feel love or empathy towards anyone, even family. When she acted very sad and broken up over the death of one of her closest friends at the funeral, she confessed to me privately that it was all a put on and that she felt pretty neutral about the whole thing. She has also stated that she has never once felt guilty about anything she's ever done and doesn't know what guilt feels like. While she enjoys being around her boyfriend and is sexually attracted to him, I highly doubt she feels much of anything towards him love-wise. Her boyfriend, who might propose soon, has no idea about her diagnosis and she's been very upfront with me that she has no plans to ever tell him, thinking it'll scare him away. I've made it clear to her that she needs to tell him the truth before they marry, that he has the right to know and considering, or I will, to which she always responds, I know you wouldn't dare. I actually would. I really like and respect this young man and would feel awful keeping this secret from him and letting him walk into a marriage without this piece of knowledge. I'm not trying to sabotage my daughter's future. Maybe her boyfriend's love of her personality and other aspect is enough that it won't end the relationship. It's his decision to make, but he deserves all the facts. Someday he's bound to find out she's a bit off. It can't be kept a secret forever. Am I the asshole? Oh.
Okay. I think, okay, off the cuff, I don't think the dad's an a-hole. I just agree with what he said at the end. She's been keeping it, at least her reactions, she's been keeping it a facade because she knows that's what you're supposed to do. But I don't think it's, I think in a marriage it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a really huge topic. Like, even the responses are not one-sided.
It's like, she physically cannot, like, and it's not her fault, you know what I mean? Like, she physically cannot react to feeling guilt or, like, other things like that, and it's not her fault at all. But at the same time, like, if you're gonna marry somebody, I feel like you need to know all the good and the bad things about them, or you're going in there unsure, to be honest with you. And it's not like the guy could know, because it seems like she's good at faking it, you know? It seems like she's almost perfected this craft.
Sociopaths. Yeah, so
Yeah, because you
she's
have
been
to
doing
fake
this
it.
her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I
she's
think
been doing it her whole life.
I think it's gonna slip, and I think it's gonna slip, and it's just like it could slip, and the guy's just like, I don't mind this. This is just a part of you, or it could slip and be like, what have I gotten myself into? You know, like,
Yeah.
and it's just like I think at the end of the day, it's a more of a net positive telling him early on, so he can consider that before he gets into the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Sky, do you want to weigh in on it before I read the comments and the responses to this?
Here's-
Sky! Oh, what? Hello?
I don't like relationships. Here's the thing, like I have inherent personal bias against relationships.
Fair.
Okay.
So my response is going to be for him to tell him because it is the one that is the most likely to result.
Yeah,
In a
it's just
breakup.
ethically speaking, it's just the most logical response, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I suppose.
Honestly, wait, I guess it's only some emotions she doesn't feel, because I'm just like, wait, why does she care? You know what I mean? If she doesn't feel guilt, if she doesn't feel love, why does she care if her secret gets exposed?
Because
Mm,
think of it this way:
Okay.
if your partner loves you,
Uh-huh.
you are getting attention from them, you are getting validation from
Okay.
them, you are getting
Okay.
many things from your partner.
Uh-huh.
So, and therefore, she's in this relationship because she would like to keep those benefits.
Mm.
Oh yeah, true. Like even if she doesn't
Okay.
love the guy, she's still getting these benefits. It's still like a positive for her.
Well,
to
that's
keep
the thing.
this
Well,
guy.
that's the thing. King wise, she doesn't feel love for him. She physically cannot, according to her.
Yeah,
It's a legitimate
she-
mental thing, and she can't really
yeah.
fix that.
She's a sociopath, so pretty much.
Yeah.
Personality disorder was it?
She's-
Social
Yeah.
Antisocial personality
antisocial
disorder.
personality disorder. Okay.
Yeah. Like she's just doing things. She's whenever she doesn't feel anything, it seems like she's just acting the way that she feels like she should, but in reality, she feels nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, because it seems like she was at a funeral and she started to cry, but in reality, she didn't want to cry. She felt no sadness.
She's just putting up an act for
Mhm.
for the sake of like because
I guess that's what's man. But even that's a bad thing, right? Because that's just kind of like almost sucks for the guy, where it's just like, yeah, your wife doesn't really love you. She just, I guess, likes the attention you're giving her.
I mean, she's at least she's sexually attracted to him, I guess.
But I feel like he needs to know that. I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep going back to that. Is he needs to know that. 'Cause
Okay.
I would hate for him to keep believing this lie that he thinks she loves him and things like that, where it's like in reality she doesn't. And again, like I said, he could be fine with it. And if he doesn't have any and if he isn't fine with it, like that's a good thing for the dude. Like it's a bad thing for the girl because she's losing, this guy that I guess she wanted to be with. Like it's so hard for him to like almost grasp it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's even then that's a maybe. Like just because he finds out doesn't mean he's leaving you. You know what I mean? Like
True.
just because he finds out, that just means he just has a choice to make. And I think that's fair for him to even have that choice because he doesn't even know he has that choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a factor to consider. It's just giving him a factor to consider. It's not the dad isn't telling the dude, you probably wouldn't like the fact that my daughter doesn't love you. It's just this is what you need to know about my daughter, and then you can make a decision.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, but the responses to this Reddit post were actually, I think, was the most interesting to me, and this is why I wanted to bring it up on the podcast. Was like, so pretty much the responses were all kind of just like, you should just stay out of it. That's what most of the responses were.
Really?
So this one person says, you're ethically compromised either way. It's probably best you stay out of it. And then another response was like, I think the guy needs to know, deserves to know, but what if it does destroy the relationship? I can't imagine what it could mean for OP to have his sociopath daughter be very angry at him. Damn, OP, I'm sorry, but I don't know if you should follow through with telling him or not.
Dang.
And then the other person says, I'd say the one thing to worry about is the potential safety of the boyfriend. Sociopaths can go off in fits of rage and potentially kill people.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
I don't know to that extreme though.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, and then they're like, the boyfriend at some point could make her angry enough that she'd kill or seriously injure him in a fit of rage. They are notorious for doing things as compulsion, so he'd be at a much higher risk of being killed by her than any other partner that doesn't have something like this. I'd say
but
potentially ruining his daughter's relationship gets trumped by the potential safety of a human life, but that's just me.
okay,
Ah, it's-
okay, my counter to like, okay, it puts him in danger if she finds out from the situation.
Mhm.
Isn't him staying in the relationship that fear is still there? Is the fear not still there?
Yeah. Oh,
I feel like that
but
fear
like,
is still there if they're together.
but she's
It's
gone
just not
through her
the.
whole life.
I think it's just that the dad's not the catalyst. Like there could be a different catalyst later on.
But at the same time, like she's gone through her whole life without hurting anyone, right?
Hmm. But it's just like
Well,
who
her dad never
knows? Yeah,
See,
yeah, who knows?
And this is throughout her elementary years, she struggled heavily, getting in lots of trouble in school for lying, cruelty, or other kinds of misbehaviors. But I guess it's important to note that. I guess
Yeah.
it's important to note that this is when she was much younger, and
And
after therapy and
yeah,
all that, she
pre.
became more lying. She's
Yeah.
basically outwardly a normal person
Mm-hmm.
on the outside.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, King White's a girl. It's just like she's just sociopath. So she's like, it's
Yeah.
not that.
Clinical sociopath. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know about her being selfless. I don't know if she would be able to be selfless.
Yeah.
Can she?
I'm just not a pro in this. Yeah.
Because the whole point of sympathy and empathy is doing nice things for other people because you know what it feels like to have other people be nice to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's we are nice to people because we know what it feels like to be to have people be nice to us.
Mm-hmm.
But if you aren't able to put yourself in the shoes of others, then you can't.
Yeah, you can't fathom that concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in her case, like she was taught, like she still can't. She still can't understand that concept, but she just respects and knows that it's a.
That is a thing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like that's. I guess at the end, I guess one thing to consider is that, you know, if she is a pro at kind of just like faking it and having these reactions, damn, it really is just like a morality thing almost, or it's just like if she's reacting anyway on how she should react in these situations, you know, if we're very logical and not like a personal, if we're very logical, there's not necessarily anything wrong if she reacts the exact same way that she should in every situation and it doesn't fall off. But it's just like
What if it does?
yeah, and it's like, yeah, exactly, right? There's always that percentage chance that it won't, and like, and then like the guy is just like, then he's stuck in a moral situation where it's just like, if he finds out everything later on, then it's just like, then he has to make this choice later on. I think that's my main thing, right? I think my main thing is that the guy has to make a choice, a moral choice of just like, do I want to stay with someone who has these problems, quote unquote, and be with somebody who doesn't actually who doesn't love me in the normal sense, let's call it. Like I don't want to be rude or anything like that, but it's just like he either has to make this decision now before he marries her, or later on when it probably slips up. That's why I'm saying that like he's not the a-hole, because that gives him the choice to do it now. Because I think the other people being like, oh, she could react very bad and harm the kid, I think that fear is still there if they get together, if they stay together, because they're still together. And it's just that the dad isn't the catalyst. The catalyst could be something else down the line. So that fear is still there. That fear doesn't go away. So I don't think that's a good argument.
Oh, interesting enough, like on the Facebook post of this Facebook comment section of this post, someone did mention tell him so at least he's aware and can be aware of any change he sees and be prepared. If this guy loves her enough, he will care for her through the time she needs him. At least he will be prepared for the hard times.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I agree with that 100%. It's just like, I think he does deserve to know, because he's going to be marrying this person. He's going to be living with this person. If he doesn't know this, okay, like that's the thing, right? If he doesn't know this and something happens, something bad happens, and he's just like doesn't know how to react, he's not prepared, that might be worse.
True. Actually, now that you mention, yeah, true.
Yeah.
So I feel like, but I guess it's just like, so that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is the boyfriend runs away, and then the girl gets super pissed about her. Like she could do something.
Yeah,
to her
she does
dad.
something violent against herself, her dad, the
Yeah.
boy. Like, of course.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah,
that is a fear for
jeez.
sure. But I think
Jesus, yeah.
I think the main thing is that fear is still there if they stick together. Like just if as well, rather if he doesn't tell her now. I mean, if the dad doesn't tell the guy now. I think that fear of her doing something violent to him, herself, or the boy is still there if the dad doesn't tell them. Like, it's not like that goes away if the dad doesn't tell him. I think that's still there.
There's also like in the like best case scenario where like he accepts her for who she is and he still decides to go with the marriage, right? But it's just like, what if like he constantly thinks about it and then while they're married over the years, like the fear just builds up because people can change over the years, right? I think like every like 2 to 4 years a person could change a lot. So I'm just like, there's also that fact like if he knows this and he's like still mad and he decides to marry her anyway, he's like, oh, in the moment he's just like, yeah, I don't mind, I love her the way she is, I'm just gonna deal with it. But then later on he starts building up a paranoia over the years.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. That's a bad thing too, of course.
Probably a bad thing. Oh, dude.
Yeah, it's
a toughie. Oh my.
Yeah, it's definitely a toughie because, yeah, there's no easy way out of this because like the situation that you propose comes true, and I think it's very true that like just because the dad doesn't tell her, I mean dad doesn't tell him doesn't mean he ain't gonna find out, and I think it's pretty likely that he will find out one way or another. Like, and if she could tell him, I think that'd be great. Clearly, she doesn't want to.
Yeah, she's like, cause her dad's like tried to convince her to tell him, but she's just like, nope, not telling him, never gonna tell him.
Like, okay, putting myself in the dude's shoes, please tell him. Like, please, I would say, please tell me. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Like if I'm doing like a put me in the shoes, like if I'm the boyfriend and I have a good relationship with this dad. Like, if he didn't tell me and I get married and I find out later, I'm just like, why didn't you tell me? You know, almost.
True. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's not the guy's fault. Yeah. I don't think the guy.
Yeah, it's not.
anything.
No, it's not the
guy-
guy's fault at all. Not at all.
Yeah,
He didn't
definitely
know.
not.
He doesn't have the knowledge. She's
Yeah, he
reacting
can't
how she should in all situations.
He kind of just like wandered in, just like, oh shit, oopsie daisy, like didn't even know he wandered into a trap, kind of thing.
And I think a key thing to consider here is that it seems like he's really good friends with the guy.
Yeah. He really likes the dude. He's like, he likes the girlfriend's fiance, but it's just like he's just worried about his safety. I guess he's just worried about his well-being, and he really wants to tell him as a result.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, tell him again. If I was the guy, I'd be like, please tell me.
Yeah. Understandable, honestly.
Because at least let him make the choice. He deserves that, I feel.
Yeah, but like, say you're in the guy situation and your girlfriend's dad told you about it. Would you stay with the girl? Would you leave? Would you bail?
I probably would leave, personally.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause I don't know. I'm just a very like when it comes to that emotional stuff. If I knew that like the person that I was gonna marry didn't actually love me, I don't think I could take it.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, it's a tough one. Any other comments? Yeah. See, someone just mentioned, Adam, you already told her that you were going to tell if she didn't, so I think you should. So yeah. Most of it is all like most of the people are all offensive as well, but yeah, I guess most I think generally I'm leaning more towards I would tell the boyfriend. Okay. Cool. You want to do one more?
I'm done.
Okay. I think this one probably be the last one, but this one is am I the asshole for telling my son's wife that she wasn't a beautiful bride? Okay, I have not read this one. I just saw this one.
Interesting. I mean, I'm curious to see the details because it feels very in one direction, but I'm sure the details.
I just read the headline. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And I clicked on it. So I have not read this one as well. So I don't know anything about this one as well.
Okay.
So starts off with saying, I'm very pissed off over this, so maybe it is more of a misstep than I originally thought. My son got married 8 months ago to a woman we've never liked. They had a surprise wedding, meaning none of us knew we were going to a wedding, and we were told it was just a cocktail party. My wife wore white. Now that I think of it, my wife wears a lot of white, and that makes her a DIL, even more of a dumbass, or even more of a dumbass for
what?
never warning us. Apparently, oh yeah, if you go to a wedding, you can't wear white. Because like otherwise, because like
Oh,
the bride is supposed to be the one.
you're gonna overstep the bride.
Yeah, the bride is the one who's supposed to be wearing white, and no one else can wear white.
Okay.
Well, for 8 months, she has been trying to spin it to make my wife look like some crazy MI. What's MIL?
Yeah, what's DIL, MIL? What is this? I don't know what they mean. Oh, daughter-in-law, mother-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for 8 months, she has been okay. So she's been trying to say that his wife was a crazy mother-in-law who showed up in a wedding dress. But the thing is, the son never told
Yeah, he never knew.
them that it was a wedding. Yeah.
Mm.
She had a wedding picture on social media, and when someone commented who wore white, she wrote back, "That's my mother-in-law. She doesn't like me," and a laughing emoji. Ew. My wife called her out on it, and she played the victim and whined about my wife trying to upstage her. She has made a couple snide comments and told people who weren't at the wedding that it was intentional. My son knew how much this was pissing me off and pulled me aside. He said that she is insecure because when she showed the wedding pictures to her best friend who couldn't make it, the friend immediately commented that my wife is gorgeous.
Huh.
I guess her mum said something too. My wife used to model and not to be a ass, but she draws your attention. But she draws your eye much more than daughter-in-law. He said that she is insecure and she has always felt insecure around my wife. Also, we are Hispanic and she is white, and I guess her own mum was telling her that she should tan and she was going to look pasty compared to everyone. I don't really care. I have a 15-year-old daughter, so I certainly get that women struggle with body issues, but you don't get to take that out on someone else and spread lies. She made another comment recently about the picture being proof that she is the innocent one in the relationship, and I snapped at her that I am sick of hearing about the white dress and that maybe if she put more effort into her own appearance, oofed, she would have been a beautiful bride and people wouldn't be looking at her mother-in-law. She stormed off and my son is mad. He actually said his mom has great self-esteem. She doesn't, so we should take the high road. And that's it for that one.
Yeah. No. Okay. What is it? Okay. It's kind of funny how the title is now. Yeah. What is it? Again, this could be reader bias. I mean, this could be writer bias or whatever. But the way this is written, it definitely seems like the daughter-in-law has a jealousy issue. And again, why does she care so much about this one picture?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I know it's your wedding and things like that, but you didn't tell him, and now you're trying to make it so like she did that intentionally, which is clearly she didn't because she didn't know. I'm sure if she knew, she wouldn't have wore white. This is not a problem.
What if it's like what if she was under the impression that her boyfriend told his parents?
Yeah,
that
I think at the end of the day,
was a
they all
wedding?
I think at the end of the day, they all need to step away from social media and talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like like parents need to tell son and daughter-in-law. Son did not tell us you guys were getting married. We thought we were just going to some event. If we knew this was a wedding, she would not have worn white. No misunderstanding from that.
At the same time, what if they told the daughter that, but the daughter was just being like very like ignorant about it, and she was like,
If she's presented that and still does this, then yeah, she's the a-hole. Yeah, if she's presented it like that and she's still doing this, she's the a-hole for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like thoughts on the OP's comments about he gets fed up, right, and he obviously insults the daughter-in-law. But like thoughts on those comments, I'm like, was it necessary to take it that far?
I'm sure it wasn't necessary, but it's just like he probably hit a boiling point, and he's probably I'm sure like his wife feels bad for it, and I think he's just sticking up for his wife. Honestly, at the end of the day, I don't think there's nothing necessarily wrong for sticking up for your own wife if you know you're in the right, because it's just like they didn't know, and again, I'm sure if they knew, she wouldn't have worn white.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the son and the daughter-in-law are being a bit of assholes about this whole situation.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like,
First of all, they don't tell their parents they're going to their wedding, you know? And then secondly, they're gonna pull this? Come on.
okay, but the comment section says otherwise. But
Really?
before I read it, yeah, okay.
Interesting.
Sky, do you want to weigh in? Do you want to put your thoughts on this?
I think everyone sucks.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah, like they all
Like,
kind of
throughout-
suck.
Mm-hmm.
throughout this whole situation, I think it was very clear that that many misunderstandings occurred,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and it's easier, and it's also very, I guess, this writer's bias as well. But at the moment, but with what was being presented, it's very easy to say that it was the son's fault that all this miscommunication happened. But then at the very end, when he insulted the wife, I mean the daughter-in-law,
Yeah, yeah,
that was-
I think that was way like that was definitely out of line. Like he should not have done that. I think for sure.
Where he should have not done what?
It just insulted his daughter-in-law.
Ah, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, fair, yeah. I feel like, yeah, this feels like a soap opera skit
Almost.
or script. But like, if they just properly communicated everything, it probably would be fine. But it's just like the
But-
communications are getting through. People are just getting emotional and just getting angry and clouding their judgment.
Yeah, like I think for like what is it? I think he definitely should not have done that, and that was a jerk move to do. But I sympathize with him because it seems like he's been dealing with this for way too long than he should.
True,
Yeah.
yeah. I think so too. Yeah.
So
feel
I don't think it was
just kinda
intelligent,
like
but I
a
can
boiling point.
sympathize. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a boiling point. Like, oh my god, enough is enough. Like they're insulting your wife,
Mhm.
pretty much. Like, yeah, I guess there's gonna be a big breaking point.
Mhm.
But
And that's if not
But-
counting writer bias, and we're not missing details. Like,
assuming that everything is written as is.
right, of course. Like, it could be that like maybe they're like imagine, right? Maybe their parents got sent an email saying that it actually was their wedding, but they're disguising it as a cocktail party to be a surprise. You know what I mean? And they just happened to miss it. Like, I don't know. Like, of course, it's a one-sided story, so we can only base on the one side.
Oh, dude. Yeah, speaking of that, what if the son, he wanted it to be a surprise because he thought their parents would be super happy about it, but then he says, "Oh, it's a cocktail party. Don't worry, just come along."
Mhm.
And then his wife accidentally dresses in white, and they're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, it's just a
That-
little
that's kinda
misunderstanding. Yeah, they just didn't know.
Yes, okay. I feel like it started off a little misunderstanding. And then it just escalated from there
Yeah.
because of just like how badly everyone just kept taking like, you know, in the visual novels where like you pick the options, everyone just kept picking the bad option. So what started off as like
Yeah.
harmless thing, just kept picking the bad option.
Yeah, like
Escalates.
yeah, and part of it might be a little too late, especially with the dad reacting how he did.
Mhm.
But again, it does seem like he tried to handle this in the smart way, but no one was budging because everybody's gonna have their own biases. And it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, the son never told us it's gonna be a wedding. Like maybe some people were just like, yeah, he's just saying that as an excuse. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
what is it? This family drama is just stupid nonsense. Like everybody gets angry for dumb reasons. Like I'm sure we've all had like family drama where people get angry like this and insult each other for essentially what is dumb reasons. Like again, if we take this at a logical standpoint, son does not tell parent that they are going to wedding. His mom just likes wearing white, so she didn't know. If she knew, she wouldn't have worn white. This wouldn't have been a problem. Like it just escalated way too much that it's just dumb now.
It could have been contained, but they decided to let the fire burn.
Yeah.
I think the responses are well, comment section are a bit less sympathetic, but one person says, "You asked if you were an asshole for telling your daughter-in-law that she wasn't a beautiful bride. Then the answer is yes, yes, you're an asshole."
That's not the only. Come on, guys. That's not the only part of the story.
like,
Read the whole
It
story.
was like, yeah, because he was just like they were like in a way just insulting.
Yeah,
and just like they were like saying untrue. They were spreading untrue things about
his wife. Right? Like
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
insulting his wife for like, it seems like a long time, and he says one insult.
Mm.
I mean, he is an a-hole, sure, but I think like Sky said, they all kind of are, except for the mom.
Yeah.
I feel like at least with the information we have, it seems like unfortunately the mom is the target of like the target right now, but she hasn't done anything bad.
She straight up is the victim. I saw.
Yeah,
She's
poor
straight
lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone else says, never insult how a bride looks in her wedding day. The only thing OP needed to say is, we didn't know it was your wedding day. I'm also curious what got them to the point where daughter-in-law's mom apparently knew about the wedding, but OP and wife didn't. I feel like there's a metric ton of info missing from this story.
For sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
So daughter-in-law's mom knew about it, but son's parents didn't. Oh, I feel like, oh, the son, man. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna pin most of the blame on the son.
Yeah, and again, it's like we don't know. Like that, I think that and that could go 50-50, right? Because I think that can go 50-50 of just like maybe like I said early on, like maybe they did tell them that it was a wedding, but they were keeping it a secret, and then the parents didn't pay attention to the fact that that they said it was a wedding, or it could be the fact of just like it could go the other way, where it's just like they don't like the son's parents, so they intentionally did not tell them because they don't like them. You know, it was intentionally malicious, but we just don't know because that detail isn't there.
I feel like the son needs to fess up his mistake and be like, "Oh yeah, my bad. I didn't tell them that it was a wedding." But
yeah, but I mean, even then, it's just like I sympathize with the son in that instance because I'm sure his wife would react like, "Okay, so you're taking their side, and it's gonna be a whole nother blah. It's dumb. It's gonna be more dumb from that." So.
Okay, this one comment seems really, oh shit, this one's really one-sided. This comment is just like, normally I'd go with ESH. What's ESH?
Everyone sucks, yes.
Everyone sucks.
Oh, okay.
Which I think everyone sucks except the mom.
Yeah. But and then they add on, but your hatred of this woman is so over the top and so obvious, likely to everyone around you, by the way. YTA. You've been purpose. Oh, okay, you are the asshole. Okay, you've been purposely cruel to her, and I doubt this was the first time.
Okay, I don't understand that because they're cruel to his wife. Like,
yeah,
did everybody forget that? Like,
yeah, everyone is the asshole in this situation.
Except the mom, poor lady.
Yeah,
what?
And then this. Oh yeah, this.
Why are these comments forgetting that they harassed they have harassed the mom for who knows how long?
I'm not gonna lie, reading through it the first time, it was a bit confusing to follow the plot for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think I got the gist of it by the end.
I hope someone replied to that comment being like, "You mean what they did to his wife for who knows how long?" Like, please tell me someone commented that, please.
A lot of these comments I want to respond and be like, did we forget the point where the son and daughter-in-law are being assholes to his wife?
Yeah.
He's really just defending his own wife, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like in his
it wasn't smart, but yeah, he was. That's what he was doing.
Man's got to do what he's got to do, you know, protect the wife.
I mean, I think people are definitely more maybe sympathetic to like younger people and especially girls and especially like wives in that situation because it's just like, you know, that is like at the end of the day, right? It's just like, okay, that is her special day, and like being upstaged by somebody more beautiful like really sucks, and I'm sure it is a really big hit to her self-esteem and things like that, you know. But insulting someone continuously, that ain't it, chief. And if you can't, you better be ready to handle the heat that comes from that.
It's kind of like poking a bear and not expecting to be bitten by it.
Right.
Exactly. This comment says, everyone sucks here. The only thing that made you the asshole was that comment. I understand you were frustrated, but it just made you drop to her level. Your daughter-in-law is being a straight asshole as well. Being insecure is not an excuse to villainize her mother-in-law. I think the best solution would have a talk with her. It may lead to nothing, but an attempt is all that counts. Yeah, so pretty much what you were saying.
Yeah, and it's like if he did do that, and it's so because it seemed like he did do that is my thing as well. Unless I was reading that wrong.
Yeah, like what you said, like they need to get off the internet and just have a face-to-face, just like at a table, just discussing. Like, all right, this is the issue. Just be like normal people, just be like normal adults and act mature, I guess. But I guess it can be tough at the same time. Like addressing issues can be like a bit of a. It might feel a bit uncomfortable, like addressing issues head on. But it's I think it's something you have to do in this situation.
Like, what is it? It's because like, okay, the one thing I was looking at where it's just like, My wife called her out on it, and she played the victim and whined about my wife. Like, so it's if she called her out on it, then I think that implies that the wife was probably just like, oh, I didn't know that this was a wedding, that's why I wore white. If I had known, then I wouldn't have worn white. So I'm sure that
Yeah,
info
what's
is out
co-
there.
Yeah, what did what did his wife say? Like, what did they call her out on? In,
Yeah, like,
question
okay,
mark?
if I was commenting on this post, I would ask the dude, I'd be like, okay, did you make a comment on the post to be like, we didn't know this was a wedding, and if we would have known, she wouldn't have worn white. If that
Yeah.
info is out there, then it's not their fault. If that info is not out there, why the heck didn't you guys tell them that?
Wait, what if the wife tried calling out the daughter-in-law for her insecurity?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. I don't know how she, what is it, called her out. Like, we don't know the details of that.
Hmm. This comment says, oh, the last comment says, everyone sucks here. Low blows are never the right answer. I don't blame you for snapping, but your snap shouldn't have been a punch in the face to your daughter-in-law.
Again, I'm just like 8 months. That's a long time to be harassed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, wait, punch to the face? I think it's kind of deserved.
Like I say, like, they've been beating down his wife for 8 months. 8 months! Did we forget that part too?
Yeah, and I'm like, you're adding fire to a fuse. Of course it's gonna explode.
Yeah.
Instead it should have been some. Yeah.
No, because I was just thinking. The one thing I was just thinking of, just like, it seems everybody's just like, you know, you were fine until you did this one thing, and I don't think anybody's realizing the fact that this has been going on. Either people glossed over it or like forgot, but this has been going on for 8 months, and he said one thing in 8 months.
And people are like, wow, you're the asshole.
Yeah, like, come on, guys, really?
Instead it should have been something like, oh, daughter-in-law, will you please let this go? It has been 8 months and my wife and I genuinely did not know we were going to a wedding because no one told us. I suggest we all sit down and talk this out in person or on Zoom rather than take this to Facebook. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much what you're saying. You should have just, it's just like freaking talk about it.
Yeah. And if he did do that, he should have said that in this post.
Yeah.
Because if it's been going on for 8 months and he hasn't said that, you're dumb. You're like, then you just didn't want to solve it. Like, if you didn't want to have a talk about this as the dad, if you didn't want to talk about this, or you didn't say that you didn't know that it was a wedding after 8 months, then you're dumb. If you did say that, then you're not the asshole, or you're not as much of a jerk as people are perceiving you as. Yeah.
Dude, this feels like those, like, you know, those romance anime story plot lines where like there's a misunderstanding between the two love interests and you're just screaming behind the screen.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, oh, if they just talked to each other, they would have solved all the misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Literally that kind of feeling right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so those are all the items that I thought were most interesting that I pulled up. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if there's because usually like I just follow this page on Facebook and they usually post all the ones like the most controversial ones, and they post those and then they're just like, oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
There's interesting
what is it?
I think
like a big addendum, I think at the end of the day is like, even if any of these stories are true, this just could be good people who are good at telling stories, you know? Yeah.
Sure. It's an interesting story. They're like,
Oh
juicy
yeah,
read,
for sure.
Wow, this one thread, I think like they're all labeled assholes. So I guess,
Interesting. All right.
I
think we are out of time though.
Okay. I'm gonna read through these my own time. If I do, I don't know. If you guys want to do more, we could do a part 2.
So we can explore some other Reddits as well. There's a lot of ones.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? The Ask Reddit one is a good one too, because it has a bunch of questions.
Ask Reddit.
No, Ask Reddit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. It's fine. It's fine. So I've written down like, wait, actually, I'll check. Oh no, this is some other time because I do have a bunch of like podcast ideas, but we'll save them for other time.
Okay. All right. everybody. Any last comments you want to say, Crow, Sky?
Not really. Other than
No.
thank you for listening.
Yeah, pretty much the usual. Next, so like I guess like oh yeah, one thing we really wanted, did we start?
We
I'm
can't
not
okay.
starting the podcast.
Yeah. Things might be happening soon, but we can't detail that. It is very hush hush right now. But
Yeah.
the future's looking up. That's the best I can say. The future's looking bright, and it's a good thing.
Coming
Wait, are we
soon.
planning
yeah.
on coming soon part 2? No, but are we planning on starting podcast like an hour early?
Oh, okay. That I think we should try it at least if possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, yeah. I think we will try it in these upcoming weeks. So we're gonna be starting an hour earlier, so 8 p.m. EST instead of 9 p.m. EST. So be aware of that as well. People on YouTube don't
Okay.
have to worry because it's just a YouTube video. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh right. Do we want a question of the week overall?
I forgot to ask again, but yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, shit, what questions of the week did I have? Oh, okay. Wait. Hold on. I have a few.
Okay.
Wait. Last week we asked what's your favorite, or 2 weeks ago we asked what's your favorite soda, right?
Yeah, I don't think anybody answered that, and I forgot to ask on a YouTube post.
Fuck. What did I? I would say my one is lemonade. That's it.
Oh, I would say mine is Dr. Pepper. Wait, lemonade's not a
Okay.
soda.
What? I mean, well,
Like
not
carbonated
lemonade,
drink.
Solo,
Carbonated.
like solo. I mean like solo.
Oh, like a brisk or okay, I got you.
Actually, not solo. I like Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is my favorite.
Oh, Mountain Dew, gamer fluid. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow! I didn't even know that. What'd you have to say? Oh, now you ruined the drink for me.
That's like a big meme.
I didn't even
That's
know
true,
about
yeah.
that. So
Really?
rude. I didn't know. I just like the drink.
Oh, yeah. It's like it's like no. I meant like gamer fuel. It's like the meme is like it's gamer fuel. Like all
What?
gamers drink
I
it.
never knew that. I
Caffeinated
Hey,
lemonade.
that's a huge
Sugary
meme.
lemonade.
did not even know. I thought it'd be like Monster or stuff that'd be the
Nah.
images.
what do
Sky,
you,
do you
Sky?
have a favorite soda?
I don't actually know. This is not something I pay attention to.
Oh, that's it.
I drink lemonade I
Wait.
like.
Lemonade's good.
Oh, okay.
Not soft.
Wait,
drink.
Sky, what? Wait. Then for Sky, what's your favorite beverage? Type of beverage?
There are far too many to choose from.
No,
I cannot make a single choice.
I was gonna guess like machi milk tea or something.
Milk tea.
Milk tea has its days. Bubble tea has its days. Soda has its days. Soup has its days. Milkshake has its days. Therefore my answer will differ depending on the day you're asking.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
You know it's weird. Okay, random, very small tangent, but like, I don't know. I feel like with like, what is it, milkshakes and stuff like that. I feel like that's more of a dessert. Maybe that's just me. That's just weird.
You can, but I feel like a lot of like the ABCs in our country would say milk tea is drink.
Well, I've
Because they
just
drink
never
it-
had
they
milk
drink
tea.
it daily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just never had milk tea, so I can't like gauge that.
Fair.
One day. I will.
Alright, then do you want me to say the question of the week for this week?
What's the question of the week? Or what is it?
Okay, I wrote, would you rather time travel to the past or time travel to the future?
I have my answer, but I'll save it.
We'll say it next week. We'll answer it next week.
Mm-hmm.
But now anyone else in chat can answer it in the YouTube one. And you
Yep.
answer in the comment section of the YouTube video. Yes.
And this time I hopefully won't forget to make a post. Hopefully.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I'll remind you.
Okay, that help. Yeah.
I'll try to remind you.
All right, everybody on Twitch. I'll see you guys later. Everybody on YouTube, don't forget to ask your questions in the comments. And yeah, respond to the question of the week. Would you rather go to the past or future? But that is it for us. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Bye.